It's kind of like knowing the date that you're gonna die and you just can't do anything about it. And so you're just like every day just trying to figure out, what you're gonna do. Here at Chico's Justice Center, we first heard about this back in 2016. Yeah, about 2016, late 2015. And we kind of knew that something was happening, but we didn't, because this space behind us is actually used to be a parking lot for us. And then when they started putting fence around it and wrapping it up, we were like, what's going on? And then, we finally found out the truth that they were building a rail there. And at first I was like, oh, that'd be so convenient for our students and everybody that works here. But then when we got the letter saying, you guys have to basically move, because Metro has obtained this property by eminent domain, you gotta go.
Did you say a gentrification threat?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And you're a college student, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, okay. Well, first of all, the definition of gentrification is this. It's a situation where you have formerly depressed housing areas where people of middle income or upper middle income socioeconomic status come in and they occupy those dwelling units and they upgrade them. And now the value of those dwelling units goes up, so the people that formerly could live there can't afford to live there. That's gentrification.
Okay.
And the only thing that's happening in Inglewood, and has happened for the last 2 years, is that our upper middle class properties are changing hands because you have people, for a variety of reasons, that, well, wow, my property's worth much more than it was. I'm getting older. I'm going to downsize. Now's the time for me to sell my property, take my nest egg, go somewhere that's more suitable for the size of my family because my kids are grown. And so what's happening here is that we have turnover of properties, but they're not depressed properties. They're middle and upper middle class properties. And there has been some mix in the demographic that lives here, but it's been done along socioeconomic lines.
The hardest part for us was to find a place, because it's one thing to be displaced as an individual. It's another thing to move an entire organization with moving parts and other people that are attached to it. So I think the first year was the most difficult, because it's like, where we're gonna go, where we're gonna find a place that is this size or bigger that we can afford. It's gonna really impact the students that live in this community, that we've been kind of a staple in this community, like I said, for like 8 years. And now we're gonna have to go into another completely different community and basically farm that area and get familiar with them. And the reason why that's a big deal in LA, because there's everything around here in this community. We have to be mindful of what's around us, gang territory. So we go to a new place, okay, what gangs are around there? There's like 4 different gangs in that area. So we have to do something called safe passage, which is finding out who the OGs are in the area from each gang. The OGs are older guys, original gangsters, whatever you want to call them. But they do hold some weight in their own community. So it's kind of like you just can't come into a community and just do what you want. Think things are just going to be like whatever. So we have to respect the culture. One of the negative impacts of gentrification is that a lot of the white people that come into our neighborhoods, they don't respect the culture. They just come in and just, okay, I'm here. And so whatever usually was going on in the community that is unfamiliar to them, they'll start doing like that dumbass lady in Oakland calling the cops on black people for having a barbecue. What if when you come into this community, this is what they've done, this is what these people, if there's something going on, a block party that they have every year or whatever to commemorate whatever that's happening in the community, it would be a problem for maybe the white people there. You would think that it's a problem because you see so many people congregating, but you don't understand the culture of that neighborhood. This is what we've always done. Why would you try to come in here and change what's already here? If you didn't want to be here, go live somewhere else.
Our players are really excited. I mean, we have 2 more years at StubHub. This is going to be a work in progress, obviously, but we're starting now for planning to be in here in 2020. I think this is a very exciting moment for the Chargers, the Rams, obviously, and everybody in Los Angeles. It's hard to describe this project because it's so big, but I mean, I wish everybody could come here like as close as we are to see what's really going on, but it's really an incredible project. This is something that's global. It's world class. It's one of a kind. It's something that all of Los Angeles, Inglewood, are going to be very proud of. It's truly iconic.
Sometimes people think gentrification is a good thing because, oh, well, they're coming to improve the area, the streets, there's more shopping and this and that. But what happens a lot of times, I know I'm kind of jumping, but what happens a lot of times is that when they bring these quote unquote new jobs here, they're not hiring people from the community. So you have physical displacement of people from their homes, from their community centers, and then you have the displacement of job opportunities that should be coming to benefit the people that have already been there, but it doesn't. Then when you have projects like this, transportation running through the neighborhoods, then that means a lot of the local businesses that have been in the neighborhood, all the mom and pop shops have been set up there since the 60s and 70s or whatever. Now they're not being patronized because the train zooms everybody past it. And so there's no support for that either. So it's definitely a trickle-down effect. And I remember reading an article recently that Metro was complaining about their numbers, saying that, and especially in some of the areas, that the numbers of ridership has gone down. Well, yeah, because you got people coming to the community that don't really rely on public transportation. They have their own cars. So you thinking that, you know, putting all this railway in here is gonna improve what you're doing, but you're actually pushing the people out that rely on your transit system. The youth here, for as far as for us is concerned, that's a big issue because now, because some of them are, if not gang members, they might be gang affiliated, or maybe even just affiliated, but because from the neighborhood they come from, they can't go to the new spot where we're at, you know? So then we're gonna lose a certain population of people, and then there's this forced to have to become more familiar with the new neighborhood. And it's so funny, people keep saying, there's no housing, but yet I keep driving down here and seeing more new construction, apartment buildings going up. So there's housing, it's just not housing for people that, you know, that can't pay $3 or $4 grand a month for a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. There, stop sign is gonna be demo. This whole thing.
All parking lot?
Yeah.